Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's Liz here. Today we're going to make this super cute card. So I'll show you everything that you need and I'll take you through it step by step. And this is what you'll need to make the cute card. A card base. I've chosen a scalloped edge card base today. It's 15 centimeters square. You will need the stamp. It's a Stamping Bella Happy Everything Wobbles. I've used this sentiment, Sending Love, from Tracey Alpaca Pals, and it's called Sentimental. This die, aTutti Designs Butterfly Oval, aTutti 101. And my square stitched die set. The paper is from Summer Fresh paper pad by Simple Stories. And the watercolour card is my usual mixed media paper. You will also need some tools. The VersaFine, because we're going to be using water-based pens, you need a VersaFine ink pad, some glue, your usual bits and bobs, some water for your colouring, some acrylic blocks for your stamping, and some water-based pens. I've got here a right mixture. I've got my ZIG Clean Colour Real Brush pens. I have the cheap version of that I got off Amazon a while back. They're not as good as the ZIG, but they're okay. I think it's a B Bauer. And I've got various. I've got my Ranger distress markers because they're water based as well. All the pens in this holder are water based. The Ecoline brush pens and these Artline sticks and some ZIG Art and Graphic Twin. So we're going to use pens today. I'll probably not use all of them. I'll stick to my favourite ZIG Real Colour ones probably, but you never know, we might add in a wee bit of shading with some of the distress pens. Yeah, okay, so let's get stamping and started. We'll just put that, these will be for the background, so we'll just move them to the side for the moment, the dies, and we will use our stamp. And let's get stamping. So just the usual procedure. I'm going to be fussy cutting the image, so we don't need to be too particular about where on the card, the watercolour card, we're going to stamp. We can just stamp anywhere we fancy. Give it a good press down. Just move that out the way just now while that's taken hold. Like to let it sit for a second or two, and that's us stamped. Do you know, I think we could have done that better than that. I think we'll have another go. Give it a good hard push this time. That's better. There we are. So we're done with the stamp, but we'll keep and do my usual of letting the image on the front guide where I want to be. So we'll do the chooks first, I think. What colours do we need? We've got these 3 shades of orangey yellow and yellow. Right, so I need something to, I've got my new mat and I don't want to, I should have changed it over to my glass mat, but just give me a second till I change that over so that I can use it for my pens. Never thought about that. Okay, I'm back. I didn't change it over. I decided just to use the acrylic block, and hopefully you can see when I put down the colour that, so you can use anything. It's water based so it cleans off, no bother. You can use, I don't know, a saucer, anything at all, anything glass or porcelain or anything. So we'll just pick it up from here and just give it a little, yep, that's about the right colour. So we'll just colour in our little chickens. A nice light touch for the first. I don't need to be too concerned about going over their beak because I'm going to be using the same colour but a little bit darker, so we can go over. Right, is there anything else that same colour? Nope. So we'll just over that little beak. And we'll add some shading once that's a bit dry. So let's use some purple. I'm just going to stick exactly to the colours on the, so it's this little one here that's purple, and this little one here. And again we'll add, oh there's another one there. We'll add some shading once, let's see, well that's a little bit too pink I think. What colour will we use for the other flowers? This one I think. So these two here, a little first coat. That one and that one. And let's go on to the green. For the leaves. With watercolour it doesn't matter if you go over the lines. Well, I don't think it does because it gives it that wash look. Yeah, so I think, oh I've missed two big ones too. Yeah, it gives it that kind of washed look, I think. Right, let's do the big guy. Bunny, light grey. I don't think that'll show up. This is very, very light, so I'm happy to just add some light straight on with the pen. Just following where the marks are on the image on the packaging. and we'll add some darker across his tummy there, with the darker grey, and then we'll add the little bit of lighter pink. This pale pink, just in his ears and his big feet. We'll give him a little bit of a rosy cheek. That's not there in the image, but you know, we're allowed. A slightly darker pink. We'll give this a wee drop of water because it's a little bit. Here we are. That's good. Okay, let's add some shading. So I've left the pens out that I used so that I know which ones, and we'll just add a little bit directly with the pen, just round the edges, just to pick out. And we used this for those flowers. And I think what we'll do is we'll just go in with our brush and just give that shading a little sugar about. There. And let's see if the darker grey. I've got a blue grey. You always need to watch that they don't get confused with the greys. Yeah, that's the darker grey. And we'll water that down. Pick that up a wee bit. Just add a little bit of the watery darker grey. Yes, that's starting to take on a watercolour washy effect. That's better. And let's add a little bit around those chickens. We pick some up from there. That's better. So, can you see how we've added a little bit of shading? I haven't done the hearts because I'm not going to fussy cut them. I've got a wee pool of water sitting here, and now I've lifted up the colour. Just add the colour back in. That's us. Right, okay, I'm going to let that dry and then put the brushes away, the pens away, and I'll just give this a wipe off. Here we are, see how you can just, there. So I'm going to fussy cut that, and I'll be back in a second. So that's it, fussy cut. How cute is that? And I have also die cut a square from plain white cardstock using the second one in. That's 12 centimetres square, and I'm going to start layering up my card. Also from the patterned paper, I chose this one because I thought it picked up all the colours from the stamp. So I've trimmed this to 13.5 centimetres square. So I thought that was a nice background there, coming together quite well. And I die cut the Tutti Designs die, and I'm just going to set that there on the background with my image, just I think sat round about there. And I'm going to put my sentiment here. So here is the sentiment set I'm going to use, and I'm going to just use Sending Love so that it's a generic card for my box and I can use it for any occasion. So we will choose the Sending Love, and I'm going to stamp it before I stick all my bits down, just in case it goes a bit. So we'll line it up with the line on the mat so that I can get that line on there and it's nice and straight. So let's ink this up. I'm just using the same VersaFine ink that I used before. I'm going to bring this down forward to me. I hope you can still see that. And I'm going to put it about there. We'll just give that a wee second to soak in. Oh, so we have Sending Love. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this all stuck down. I'm just going to use my Pritt stick. Just hold that up, make sure it's straight. Yep. And this. Oh dear, I've got a little bit of glue there. Let's see if that will rub off. Nope. Right, well, we need to just die cut another piece of white card and I'll be right back. Okay, managed to get it down that time without making a mess, so that's looking fine. And I've put foam pads on the back of the little stamp image, and I'm just going to dab some glue onto little bits here, and hopefully we can get this on just here and there, because on the bigger bits as long as most of it's stuck, we'll be putting the image on top of it anyway, and that'll save, I think that'll be enough. We can always lift up little bits, and so we want it to be about there. And I'm just going to carefully dab it because I don't want any glue anywhere it shouldn't be. There we are, and we'll just get this down with that. And I just want this slightly to the side. Oh, maybe you need to put a little bit of glue on that bun. Like that. That's nice. And I think what we'll do is we'll add a few little, I might need to put a little bit extra glue, but I don't mind them lifting up. It adds to the texture and the 3D-ness of. So in the stamped image we had some hearts that we didn't cut out, so I think maybe what I'll do is I'll add some enamel hearts. We'll see what colours we've got. Yeah, these pink ones, I think, maybe. Rather than the yellow. Yellow doesn't really match. It would need to be an orangier yellow. So I think those pink ones there. Will do the trick. And I will just lift them with my, here it's over here. Put the lid on the glue, there we are. Yes, I think that'll do nicely. So we'll put 3 on, I think. Start with this big one. One there, and then where will we put the little one? If we put that one up there, we can put the little one in between. Yeah. There. Now, is that in the right place? I think this is maybe too far up. Can we get that off? That's better. That's better. See, now that I've moved that one, I want to move this one over a bit. And this one, I should have laid them all down gently before I press them down. But they do lift off with a little bit of patience. Right, that's it now. That's me now. I'm happy with that. So that's today's card. Thanks for joining me. I hope that has given you a little bit of inspiration, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.